If I asked you what the most common job serial killers have, what would you say? I feel like most people would say something like a mortician, someone who works in a slaughterhouse, basically someone who works in the most morbid, dark places. But what if I told you that the answer was a lot closer than you think, and it's a job that you see almost nearly every day? A truck driver. A former FBI director actually wrote a book about this, and his argument is that serial killers are genuinely drawn to this job because it allows them to commit crimes and never ever get caught. Robert Ben Rose, aka the truck stop killer, is a perfect example of this. This man drove the highways of America for almost 20 years, kidnapping, harming, and unaliving women, and nobody had any idea. He had converted his sleeper cabin into a literal torture chamber. He had chains bolted to the walls with shackles, handcuffs, and a briefcase full of tools that an FBI agent later described as one of the most refined rape kits he had ever seen in his entire career. He would pick up hitchhikers, runaways, drifters, basically anybody who was just trying to get from one place to another. And once they fell asleep in that passenger seat, that was it. And the only reason we know his name today is because on April 1st, 1990, an Arizona state trooper was driving alongside Interstate 10 when he spotted a semi-truck parked on the side of the road with his hazard lights flashing. And something about it just didn't sit right with him. So he pulled over, walked up to the truck, and when he looked through that window, he saw a woman inside, naked, handcuffed, and screaming at the top of her lungs. So imagine how much longer he would have continued to do this had that trooper not been there at that exact moment. It's argued that there are over 850 unsolved murders along America's freeways that investigators believe were most likely committed by truckers. And the reason why a lot of serial killers choose trucking is because they could essentially weaponize the gaps between police jurisdictions. Like a trucker could grab a victim in Texas, unalive them in New Mexico, and dump their body in Arizona. Now you have 3 completely separate police agencies in 3 completely separate states, each holding a different piece of the same puzzle. And here's the problem. Those agencies aren't automatically talking to each other. It takes a very long time for them to even share information between them. So while law enforcement in all 3 states are slowly trying to figure out what happened, that truck driver has already crossed 2 more state lines and is sitting at a truck stop eating breakfast like nothing ever happened.